Greetings, welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to be creating storybooks. So this video is going to be all about storybooks. So it's going to be consistent character storybook, script to storybook, kids storybook and also personalised storybook. So what I've actually done is I've created a character. I actually made a video before, but somehow I managed to lose it. So I'm doing the video again, but I've created this consistent character here. And this is the character that I'm going to use in the storybooks. So I went over to ChatGPT and I used this image here. So I'll go in, I created a story. So a 7-year-old boy named Niko with wavy black hair wearing teal dungarees over a stripy orange and white t-shirt and red wellies. He has a big curious smile, light brown skin and a cheerful adventurous expression. So I took this prompt here. And to create this character, what I actually did was, this character here was created in Artistly. And the way that I did this is I came to here and I used photorealistic, which is here. So I popped this into here like this. I left it as 1:1 ratio and I just generated the image here. So I generated 4 of them, but we'll just generate the one. So we'll start from scratch as if we're starting from the beginning. If you have trouble while it's processing, this happens in ChatGPT as well as in Artistly, but sometimes the processing gets stuck and you wait and wait and wait and nothing happens. But if you refresh it, it does help to do that, and it will unstick it if it's stuck. So that's the character we've created there using that prompt. And what I'll do now is if we go back into here like this, and then what I'm doing is I'm going to we'll start from left to right. So we'll create the consistent character storybook. So we go into here and we'll create new storybook here. So the way it works is you create the image, so choose from library. So I'm going to choose that character we've just used here, just let it load up, and then I'm going to leave it as 1:1 and I'm just going to generate how many pages. We'll do 10 pages and we'll just generate the story. So let it just do its thing for a minute. We'll do this real time. So now, because it's using 10 pages, it's creating 10 images. And each image will be a different scene where the character's doing something different in each image. And it will actually generate its own story. This isn't a story that you create, it's what the AI will actually create using the image that you give it. So we'll just give it a few seconds just to do its thing. I'll just refresh it again, see where we're at. Because it's actually photorealistic, it might take a bit longer. Here are some images that I created earlier. As I say, I created a video and I managed to actually lose it, which was a bit of a pain. So I'm using screen power to capture my screen and to create this video. And I accidentally pressed back and then I lost the whole thing before I'd actually saved it, which is a bit frustrating. I managed to go through all the different characters and everything with it as well. These are the images that were created before, but we'll go through it again step by step and I'll show you how I created them. So we just do the processing again. Well, while we're waiting for this, we'll go back in and I'll start from another one as well. So that was consistent character. Then it's script story. So we'll create a new story here and we're actually doing this from script. So as I mentioned, I've been over to ChatGPT and I've created a story. And what I'll do is I'll just select all here and I'll copy everything into here. And I'll show you the script to make it consistent. So what I find is that you create the character and then the story scene. So the story scene with a consistent prompt for Flipbook, all right? So what you actually do is the character here is a reminder, so character reminder of the character that you created. And then each scene underneath I've written character reminder, same as the above. And I find that with each scene, if you write that, it does make it consistent. So I've done that with each scene. And this story was just created in ChatGPT. It wasn't a great prompt or anything like that. I didn't actually steer it in any direction. I just wanted it to create a story. But obviously you can create a lot more sophisticated story and characters, etc. So what I'll do is I'm going to put it on 1:1. I like it one-on-one. You can have it for, obviously, for if you're using 16:9, that's for YouTube, or 9:16 is going to be TikTok or for shorts, etc. But I'll just leave it 1:1 for myself. And you choose the style. So my consistent character, we could have it as a Pixar style. Let's do that. And then generate. So now that you're doing this, so this is now going to generate the images now for the Pixar style, which it's doing now. These are the images that it created for the first storybook that we're creating. So I'll just refresh, and that last one should be done by now. So we just go down. So we've got all these different consistent characters here from the image that we've given it. So that was the first one. So I'm going to consistent character, create flipbook. Click on here like that. It gives you the 10 images with the blue ticks. And then you create the flipbook here. And then you change you have the flipbook title. You have the language, which language you like it in. Select the voice. So I'm just going to put Emily. So you just click like that. See that Emily's here. And then you have templates. So I'm just going to, you can actually upload a template as well. And I'll just grab a template. I'll just grab that one there like that. And then choose from library. So I'm just going to have this. You can obviously create your flipbook cover and have the name, etc. on it. And there is a function in Artistly where you can create covers. So that's the front cover. And then the back cover, I'll choose from library. So we'll just have this one here. So that's the back cover. And obviously you take more time if you were doing it for yourself. And then generate flipbook like that. So give it a second just to do its thing. And now it's in progress here, so it's processing. And here are the 3 that I did prior to losing the video, which was this one here as well. Started from here, but I'm going through it step by step again, just so we can go through and I'll show you how I made them, etc. So that's the first one. So now, if we go back into, so we've done the consistent character. Now we're going to make the script book. So we're going to go script to story, which is here. So create new story. Just a quick word. I was just going through the video and I got a bit confused because I'd already done this, and these were the images that we created before, but I've ended up making it again, but I'm sorry about that. But these are the actual Pixar images. Because I'd already made the other video, I got a little bit confused, I think. But anyway, we'll go back to the original video and recreate it again, but just letting you know, so just in case you got a bit confused there. Anyway, cheers, thanks. Copy everything into here like this. Choose style. So we'll have let's go vector illustration. So we do that. I'm going to change it to 1:1. Generate story. This will create the images. Just let it do its thing for a minute. So script to story, click on here, that's processing. here's some that I'd already made in the previous video. Right, just refresh the page. There we go. So that's the vector illustration here. So that was very quick. And so now what we'll do is we're doing script to story. So we click on here, create flipbook, select the stories. So that's the 7 selected for the 7 scenes. And then create flipbook here like this. Put the title, change the title if you need to. Obviously language again. Select the voice. I'll create Emily again. So Emily there, making sure it's here. Browse the built-in templates. So I'll just grab this one. Or as I mentioned, you can add another one. Choose from library. So I'll choose that one there. And then the back cover. Like that. And then generate flipbook. What I'll do with each of these flipbooks, I'll leave them in the video description as well, so you can have a look at them. So each one we do. And also I'll leave the prompt as well for the story, if you like, as well. So now we've got this one that we've just created. What I'll do is I'll play this one. I'm just going to turn off my microphone as well in a minute, because it interferes with the sound of the audio from the computer. So we'll read this one here like this. Let me just turn off my microphone.
The boy loved to explore, especially when it was sunny outside. His red boots were ready for any adventure. One day, he found a tiny ladybug crawling on a big green leaf. It was so small and red. He watched the ladybug climb higher and higher, like it was reaching for the sky. Then, the ladybug unfurled its wings and flew away, leaving the boy a little surprised. He wondered where the ladybug was going. Maybe it was off to see the flowers. Soon, he saw a patch of colorful flowers. Yellow, blue, and purple petals waved in the breeze. He decided to sit among them, feeling the soft grass and warm sun. A little bee buzzed past his ear, busy collecting nectar from the flowers. He giggled, thinking how busy all the tiny creatures were in the big, wide world. The sun began to set, painting the sky with orange and pink. It was a wonderful day of discovery.
Right, so that's that. So yeah, that looked quite good with that image that with that photo that we created. And obviously, if you're creating for your children or from photo, you can just upload the photo, and that will create the different scenes as well. Yeah, so to actually share the flipbook, it's actually here. So you share it here, you get your link, and then whoever gets the link, who you send it to, will actually get exactly this, the flipbook. Or you can actually download it as a PDF file as well, which will give you all the images, etc. So we'll move on now to the next one. So this one now is ready as well. So we'll just have a look at this. So this is the one that I actually created in ChatGPT. I'll turn off my microphone again.
Niko walked across a grassy meadow under a cloudy sky, holding a crumpled paper map. He paused and looked up at the sky with wonder in his eyes. He found an odd machine hidden under a mossy tree. It was made of old pipes, spinning cogs, and a chimney puffing little clouds. The machine whirred to life, and a soft voice said, "Welcome, Cloudmaker Apprentice." Niko looked amazed as puffy clouds swirled above him in playful shapes. Niko pulled a shiny silver lever on the machine, and the clouds began to form into magical animals: a lion, a turtle, and a dragon. One of the clouds turned into a small owl and gently landed on Niko's shoulder. He smiled brightly and reached up to pet it. The Cloudmaker machine gave Niko a glowing badge that said Official Skyshaper. He wore it proudly, standing tall as the clouds formed a staircase into the sky. Niko climbed the cloud steps and waved goodbye to the meadow below. The sky sparkled as he disappeared into the fluffy horizon, ready for his next adventure.
Yeah, so that one looks okay as well. That's consistent character. So that's the one I actually created in ChatGPT using that consistent character, how I explained it. Right, so now we'll go over and we'll do another. If we come here and we just do, so we've made this one, script to story, kids storybook. So we'll do this one. So create new story. So select a story type. So non-fiction, moral, mystery, fantasy, comic. We'll do comic. There we go. What age? So we'll just do, I don't know, 7 to 12, say. Write a brief summary of the story. So I don't know, magic bicycle, say. Magic bicycle that flew in the sky. There we go. So we'll just do that. Very basic. Number of characters, we'll do 2. How many can, yeah, you can have, I'll do 2 character. And then number of pages, you can do up to 25, so I'll just do 10. And this will create all the different scenes again. So we generate from prompt. Give it a few seconds just to do this again. There we go, nearly there. There we go. So now it's actually created the story for you. So you can actually use this story and generate it in the last one we did, the one that I used ChatGPT for. You can create your own stories in there. So you just copy the story and then you've got your own story. So I'm going to choose aspect ratio. I'll leave it as 1:1. Generate style as well. So because it's comic, let's have a look. We just have a little scroll through. Hand knitted style, that's quite crazy. Right, okay, so let's have that. We'll do this. Make it a bit different. So generate story. There we go. So that'll create all the different images. Sorry if my voice is going a little bit. I've been talking now constantly for about 2 hours. So my voice is going a bit hoarse. So I apologise for that. Right, so we'll leave that to do its thing. Just do a little refresh. And it's the same principle. If you take it along the top here, you've got consistent character storybook. We've just done script to storybook, then kids storybook, and then personalised storybook. So you're just going these 4. You're clicking on it once the image is actually created, and then you'll get the little square. There we go. Look. Our kids storybook. So create Flipbook. So you just create it here, select which ones you want there. 10 selected, which are the ones that we've just created there. And then create the Flipbook. Then put the title, whatever you want it to be. Select the voice. There's lots of different voices here, as you know. I'm going to stick with Emily again. But we could go through and have a listen to some different ones. Browse the built-in. So we just I'll take a bit more time doing this if I was obviously creating my own. So I'll just click on this one. Choose from library. So I like that one. And then we'll take this one. Make sure that we've got it all. So we've got the title, we've got which language you'd like it in, who's going to narrate it, the template that you're going to use, front and back cover, and then generate Flipbook. Give it a few seconds just to do its thing. My flipbooks are here, you see. So you go into the flipbook at the top, and that's processing the voiceover. 22 pages. And while that's doing that, we'll go back into here and we'll create Personalised storybook, which is the last one. So we're going here, create new. So I'll put in a name for the character's name or nickname. So I'll just put in my, there you go, Matt, like that, male, enter the age. So I'll put in 10, number of pages, I'll put in 8, tone of the story, so heartwarming, cinematic, powerful, funny, light, and then magical and dreamy. So I'll just put magical and dreamy. You can put other as well, so it'll then you put in your own custom here. But I'll just leave it as magical and dreamy. There you go. And now generate prompt. It's going to ask now for an image, so we'll use the same boy that was in that last photo, so we'll just use that as an example. So you just drop it in. So it's created the story here. Aspect ratio, obviously you can change to what you need. Drag and drop, choose file. So I'm just going to choose that boy again. So let me just get a decent picture of him. Yeah, I'll use that one there. There we go. So that's a nice photorealistic photo. So now we generate storybook. And that would generate all the images. And obviously you upload your own photo to it. So Personalised storybook's the last one. So we click here. That's all processing now as well. So let's see what it comes up with using that photo. Wow, yeah, so that's that. So that was quick. They're all generated. So Personalised storybook. So you click there, create flipbook, select. So that's got all the 8 different images. And then create, and then just go through the same, a story about Matt, put the title, voice. I'm sorry I keep sticking to Emily, but I'll just do that as well. And then we'll just grab one of these. Let's have a look. Any one of these. We'll do that one. Same again, choose from library. So that'll be the front. This will be the back. And then generate flipbook. And as mentioned, I'll leave all the flipbooks in the video description. So we'll play this one quickly. Let me just turn my microphone off again.
Zip lived in a town where nothing exciting ever happened. Until one day, he found an old, dusty bicycle in his grandpa's attic. Little did he know, this wasn't just any bicycle. It was Zoom, the magic flying bicycle. Get ready for takeoff. Zip hopped onto Zoom, a little nervous but mostly excited. He rang the golden bell, and with a sputter and a whir, Zoom lifted off the ground. Higher and higher they went, leaving the town behind. Their first adventure took them over candy floss clouds and rainbow rivers. Zip laughed as Zoom did loops in the sky, showing off its amazing flying skills. Suddenly, they spotted a group of lost birds, chirping sadly. We have to help them. Zoom, Zip exclaimed, turning the handlebars towards the worried birds. Zoom sped towards the birds, its golden bell ringing a cheerful tune. The birds followed, trusting the sound. as Zip led them back to their cozy forest home. As a thank you, the birds showered Zip and Zoom with shiny feathers that sparkled like jewels. Zip felt a warmth spread through his chest. It felt good to help others. Suddenly, they heard a faint meow. A little kitten was stuck on the moon. Another rescue. Zoom! Zip shouted, pointing towards the distant cheese like moon. Zoom zoomed towards the moon, faster than ever before. They gently scooped up the frightened kitten and brought it back to Earth, safe and sound. Back in his town, Zip reunited the kitten with its loving family. As the sun set, painting the sky in warm colors, he knew his adventures with Zoom had just begun. Zip and Zoom looked at each other, a silent promise in their eyes. Where would they go next? Only the sky knew.
Yeah, so that was a good one as well. Quite consistent. The characters very consistent, and the story wasn't too bad. So the more you put into the story, the better the result. So that's that one, and then we've got the last one here as well. So we could have a look at this one. I'll turn the microphone off again.
Matt lived in a cozy little cottage, nestled beside a whispering willow tree. He loved spending his days exploring the nearby meadow. But lately, a strange silence had fallen over it. The usual cheerful buzzing of the honeybees had vanished, replaced by an unsettling stillness. One morning, a shimmering, iridescent bubble floated through Matt's window, gently nudging his nose. Inside, a faint whisper seemed to beckon him, promising answers to the meadow's silence. Hesitantly, Matt reached out and touched the bubble. As the bubble burst against his fingertips, Matt felt himself shrinking, the world around him growing larger. He was now no bigger than a bumblebee, standing at the base of a towering blade of grass. The meadow, once familiar, now seemed like a vast, unexplored jungle. Navigating the overgrown meadow, Matt encountered shimmering dewdrops like giant pearls, and the air hummed with unseen magic. He carefully crossed a small stream, using a fallen petal as a boat. His journey guided by the faint echo of the whisper he heard in the bubble. He knew he must discover what had silenced the bees. He came upon a withered patch of wildflowers. Their vibrant colors faded to a dull gray. At the center, he saw a tiny, shadowy figure, its form indistinct and unsettling. This was the source of the meadow's silence, a creature feeding on the meadow's joy. Remembering the warmth of the sun on his face, Matt focused all his energy, imagining the meadow bursting with life. A small spark ignited within him, growing brighter and warmer, pushing back against the shadowy figure's influence. The colors of the flowers began to slowly return. The shadowy figure shrieked and dissipated into nothingness, as the meadow bloomed anew with vibrant colors. The buzzing of bees filled the air, their cheerful sounds echoing through the meadow. Matt felt himself growing larger, returning to his normal size. Back in his cottage, the whispering willow seemed to sigh contentedly. Matt knew he would never forget his adventure, the day he saved the meadow and rediscovered the magic hidden in the ordinary world. From then on, he listened closely to the whispers of nature, always ready for another adventure.
Yeah, so that one worked okay as well. The character was consistent and everything. But I think I'm going to end the video now, but I hope you got some use out of this video. I'm sorry it's a little bit higgledy-piggledy, this one, but I hope you enjoyed it, and look out for more videos from me. And if you fancy subscribing, please do. Anyway, thanks very much, and you can find all these flip books and the prompts in the video description. Thanks very much. Cheers. Bye.